Well, I think seniors being on a fixed income, that any kind of money that the Canadian government or the federal government or the provincial government could generate to help out the seniors in need. Money-wise, we're pretty lucky in Elliot Lake because most of the things are well within a price range for almost anybody to be able to afford to go to. But everybody doesn't live in Elliot Lake or the Northern Ontario. I think another aspect of the thing is I've discussed this with my wife and other people. People don't realize that doctors looking after seniors have a burnout rate of about 20% more than a family physician looking after mom, dad, and kids. And it's just because seniors are harder to take care of because there's more complications in the senior life than there is in a younger family life. And I've heard that from 2 or 3 different doctors in southwestern Ontario, and I heard about it up here. And I think that's something you have to consider when there's a doctor shortage, that you have to start taking charge of your own life and start taking care of your own self between you and your wife and do the best you can with what you have. Well, living in Northern Ontario, anything major basically has to be done between Elliot Lake and Sudbury or Elliot Lake and Sault Ste. Marie. And I personally think that the Canadian government is just burning bad money after bad money by not investing in the hospital situation in Northern Ontario. I know they've done a great job in the Sault with a new hospital going up there, or at least expansion. They did a great expansion in Sudbury. And I don't see any reason in the world why, with the population that Elliot Lake has, why major improvements couldn't be done in Elliot Lake. For an example, if I had to go for an MRI, I have to go to Sudbury. Would it not be simpler to put an MRI machine in St. Joseph's Hospital in Elliot Lake? That way eliminating the $90 that the government doles out every time. And you may have to go 4 or 5 times a year for different things, and you end up going to Sudbury or Sault Ste. Marie. So I'm thinking it would be a great lesson in life if the Canadian government would listen to the people and put those kind of machines in. I don't know personally if we even have the technology and the people with the technology experience to run an MRI in St. Joseph's Hospital in Elliot Lake. But I'm sure they could find them, given the opportunity. If the government would invest in things like that, I think they'd be saving millions of dollars a year by not having us have to drive to Sudbury with the allowance that they give you. Yes, I think they can make their lives better for themselves. And like I said, it's just being aware of what's going on around you and knowing that there's shortcomings in every part of Canada, but appreciate what you have and make your life better by looking after yourself better.